Bim, guess what? It's Sunday. It's literally 10 o'clock. We're on time for the first time for ages. And it's time for a look at the news from the week in everyone's favourite news programme on this channel called What a Week's News That Was, where we look at the week's news Monday to Sunday and then we discuss it as we go through, and then we look at stuff that is a bit more light-hearted because the news has just got more and more tragic this week as we go along. You can tell from the picture in the thumbnail, but more of that later. Don't forget, join in the chat. If you're listening on a podcast, feel free to comment in the comment section. You are more than welcome to disagree with me if you wish, or you can agree with me, either or. That's what it's all about. It's discussing stuff and see where we get to. So, without further ado, let's get on with the week's news. Now, Monday the 6th, seems like ages ago this. Hi Viva Mark. Monday the 16th of December, alleged spy named as Mr. Yang, a Chinese man who was close to Prince Andrew even. Starmer is still wanting to reach out and engage with China, even though we've had a spy in our midst. And Andrews is not going to attend the Christmas at Sandringham, because he's like the black sheep of the family, which is ironic in a few ways. 3 dead in a school shooting in Madison in the USA, including the shooter. It's a junior type school as well. Again, just goes on and on and on in America, and it does terrify me. Evening Alan, hope you're good. A woman who threw a milkshake over Farage gets a suspended sentence. However, if you say something nasty on social media, you go to prison for 6 months or thereabouts. I don't understand the logic of this. I know Labour don't like Farage, and the woman who did it, as far as I know, doesn't work for Labour. She didn't do it because he was Labour, or she was Labour. She didn't do it, she just did it because she didn't like Farage. But you can't go around throwing stuff at people. It's just not a thing you should do, particularly if they're a politician. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Farage, but I do understand some of the stuff he's saying and why people like it. But you can't just go around throwing stuff at people, and apparently other people who've done similar things have also not faced charges. For example, the guy who put glitter all the way over Keir Starmer during the election campaign didn't get sent to prison or anything. And the person who threw an egg at 2 Jags, he didn't go to prison either. So maybe there is a thing about that. But yeah, it does feel weird that if you've got a good character and you write something on social media that Starmer and his cronies find offensive, you're going inside. Drew Frequency, hello. The BBC News at 10 did not mention the postponement of local elections next year by Labour, but they covered the change of boundaries and the possibility of new mayors. But they kind of missed out the important bit, which is we're in a democracy, or we used to be anyway, before Keir Starmer got in. Now it does feel like more and more and more we're ending in a dictatorship. We've certainly got a dick in charge anyway. Murder, Tuesday the 17th. The murderers of Sarah Sharif. The dad is sentenced to 40 years, life, should be death really. Put them down. We don't need people like that on the planet. Stepmom gets 33, definitely not enough. I mean, what got me was that they abandoned the body, absolutely abandoned their child's body, and flew to Pakistan and then rang up the police to tell the police the body was there, and that body been in a house on its own. You just can't imagine it. It's just horrible. There were inquiries now, though, that she was being homeschooled despite concerns from the school, and there was knowledge of her being at risk since before she was born. Yet the family still managed to tragically kill her and make her run for it as well. Anyway, thankfully they are both behind bars, and like I say, hopefully they will get the full term of their sentence, if not longer. They deserve a lot more than 40 years and 33 years. Absolutely horrendous. Ukraine says they were behind the assassination of Lieutenant General Ivolkinov for alleged use of chemical weapons against their troops. Russian media says Zelensky is now basically signed his own death warrant. And breaking news today, there's been strikes in Kyiv, including some of the embassies as well, but we may cover them in the breaking news section. Alright, so someone written something then, but they haven't. I just saw something flicker on my screen, don't know what that was. Anyway, Labour say no compensation for the WASPy women who missed out on pension changes. Basically the story goes that the government decided that women want equal rights and everything like that, so what they're going to do is they're going to change the age that women get the pension and put it to the same age as men get the pension, although it's still not, because men went up as well. But these women of a certain age are saying that they were not informed of this change and therefore are now out of pocket because they're not getting their pension. They have to work longer or they've retired, but then they've got no money to live on. Now the thing is, whether you think they should get the money or not, there was a report that said that they should get the money. The Tories said they weren't going to give them the money because they thought that they'd done enough to let the women know what was going on, like a sign in a job centre, which you wouldn't see if you've got a job. I mean, I can't remember last time I went in a job centre. But this government now is full of cabinet members, all of whom pretty much seem to have had images of themselves with WASPy women, this group of women who are trying to get compensation, including Keir Starmer saying that they were robbed of money, and this was in 2022. It was in the 2019 referendum of Labour that they were going to give compensation to the WASPy women, but it was not in the 2024 referendum. But all these people who are running the country now, including Angela Rayner, including Keir Starmer, including that woman who's the pension secretary, whatever she is, and including Lisa Nandy, the Wigan MP, have all either had speeches with the WASPy women or held up signs saying, "I support the WASPy women." Don't believe me? Keep watching. I've got a picture of a current cabinet member, Wigan MP, who's got one of them in her hands. Not said anything about it since this happened. The Chagos Islands deal is not good enough, Mauritius says, so they're now seeking renegotiation. The Chagos Islands are the islands that Labour decided to give to Mauritius, who aren't even anywhere near it. It's very peculiar. It's like me being given the keys to the Isle of Wight. Just seems a bit pointless, really. But anyway, America have stepped in, and the president-elect, Trump, has said that he's not for this deal, and I think the Mauritius have thought, oh poo, we don't want to upset him, so we'll back out of it. And the only way they could do it is saying that the deal wasn't good enough. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Labour, as you put it, it's just unbelievable. I wrote in the paper this week, obviously got slated for it by the Labour councillor in Wigan. If you want to see it, go on to Wigan Today on Facebook and scroll down their stream, and you'll see a picture of some houses that are being built, and that's my comments. And see the comments that they've put on. Absolutely hilarious. Just don't understand it, do they? Absolutely don't understand it whatsoever. Starmer says that taxpayers couldn't withstand the bill for this charge, and 90% of women knew about the change. The WASPy women are furious. Will they have a sting? Well, hopefully they do, because everyone else is stuff with them. You've got the farmers, you've got the old people in general who've lost the money. You've got employers of small businesses and large businesses as well. As I said before, there's a business that I know, a fairly large business, and it's £54,000 extra in taxes for the employees, so some employees are going to have to go, aren't they? Yeah, absolute nonsense what this government's doing. It's like The Apprentice, only the shit ones have won and got power. Inflation gone up to 2.6%. It's the highest rate since March. It's the second time it's gone up in 2 months. Oops. But, she's a bit upset, is Rachel Reeves. But she says it's all going to work out in the end. No. Inflation is going to go up tremendously next year because of people are going to have to put prices up to pay for the wages. The NI. Electric and gas is going up, so restaurants and cafes are going to have to put the prices up to pay for the extra price of electric and gas. So yeah, absolute yeah, this government needs to go. But they will go. Apparently the rumours, there are people already, backbenchers, who are trying to organise a leadership race because they got no confidence in Keir Starmer. I don't think it's enough yet, but it is beginnings, hopefully, of the end of Keir Starmer. The problem is, who else do we get? Maybe we just get rid of the government. Maybe there should be a thing that if the ruling party has, say, more than 3 leaders whilst they are ruling, we automatically have a general election. I appreciate that we can't do it every time because there's sometimes genuine reasons, could be illness, death, or just, this massive thing comes up where they have to resign for whatever reason. So give them 3 in 5 years, and if they do more than 3, then we have a general election, and that seems to be the fairest way of doing it. It also stopped that merry-go-round that we had with the Conservatives as well. Meanwhile, Southampton suffers water shortage. In fact, no water at all. They have to queue up for bottles of water in car parks. Remember, Southern Water and all the other companies, including United Utilities, are now going to stab everyone again in the wallet for more money to pay for the upgrade of the water supply infrastructure, even though when they bought it years ago they knew it was Victorian infrastructure. And if we're building 1.5 million houses, which we're not doing, but we do in this Parliament, then we're going to need a lot more water infrastructure being built. But they're still paying themselves massive bonuses, they're still paying their shareholders massive bonuses and profits and all that kind of thing. So the other thing, the old thing is just complete nonsense. I've said before, with the water companies, what we need to do is we need to say, right, we're buying them back. We're going to give you the money you paid for them. So if you paid 10 billion, you're going to get 10 billion for it, and then we own it. However, any bonuses that you've paid or any stuff you've paid to your shareholders, money-wise, we're going to deduct that from the 10 billion. So instead of giving you 10 billion, we might give you 5 billion. But if you've been a good water company and you've actually invested into the infrastructure of the water company, then you can add that back on again, and we'll give you whatever the difference is. So you might, if you're lucky, you might get your 10 billion back. You might even get 20 billion. You won't get 10 billion. Or you might get 5.5 billion, or you might get 3 billion. Either way, we've got to get them back. Should never have privatised the water. Agree, Dream Frequency. I don't think things that are essential and a human right should be for profit. They should be provided for the people, and any profits raised from these should go into the infrastructure to keep it going and upgrade it, and not paying people who don't even live in this country billions of pounds over the years in money that could have been invested and may not have us in the situation we're in now, where shit is basically going into our waterways on our beaches. Your kids, when they go to the beach, are probably swimming in poo and condoms and other crap like that. It's just ridiculous. And who puts condoms down the bloody toilet? It's just daft. Anyway, shall we move on to something even more disturbing? The Southport stabber refused to speak at his hearing trial, his plea trial even. So he was pronounced as pleading not guilty to 16 charges which were put to him. His trial will start properly in January of next year. And Eddie Stobart, the guy who set up Stobart's, has passed away at the age of 95. He sold the company, well, he gave his company to his kids, and then they sold it. It then started doing really badly, and then it got bought out by Clarina or something like that, who basically paid a lot of money for the Eddie Stobart name and then obliterated it off the roads. All their vans are white. They've got like this weird kind of something that off breakfast TV with Clarina written in it, and yeah, well, it says Stobart on some of them, and you're like, well, why did you pay all that money? Why don't you just buy trucks? It'd be cheaper, and make all the Stobarts go bankrupt. But yeah, they're still going, but not as they were. Nope, nothing else. And I think Thursday the 19th, Giselle Petticoat, her husband and 50 men are guilty of drugging and raping her. And I've written here, a truly brave woman. Not only did she forgo her anonymity, but she actually has now become a beacon in France, and to be fair, I think around the world, for women who are being abused in various different ways. It's not just about rape, it's not just about beating, it's about coercive behaviour as well, controlling, checking phones, see what messages, see what they're doing, even putting trackers on the phones, not letting them have their own bank account, not giving them the credit cards or anything like that. That is, as equally controlling and obnoxious as anything else you can do to a woman. And sadly, it's happening all the time. But the good news is that these husband and 50 men have all been found guilty of rape after the poor woman was drugged, and it was filmed as well. It's just horrendous, just heinous. Again, I was on about the death penalty last week for the murderers of Sarah, and I think that's too good for the husband of this woman, and to be fair, most of these men as well. It's just ridiculous. Lord Mandelson is being sent, talking of horrible people, Lord Mandelson is being sent as the US ambassador. Now when Trump gets in, that's not going to go well, because Trump doesn't like Mandelson, because Mandelson called Trump lots of names back in the day. But mind you, I think everyone in the Labour cabinet has called Trump lots of names back in the day, because they were the opposition and they didn't want the Conservatives to do deals with him. Putin holds his annual press conference, which goes on for about 4 hours. He must be wearing tenor for men, because at his age, there's no way he can sit down for 4 hours and not go to the loo. Either that or he's piped up, I don't know, I don't want to even think about it. Answering questions, including from the BBC reporter in Russia, who we laid into. Musk has already had a pop about Mandelson. Yeah, absolutely. It's just not going to get on. It's just not going to get on at all. Of course, if Putin's already dead and he's just animatronics now, then he can sit there for hours on end, can he, without moving? So, yeah, kind of makes sense. Back in America, the New York shooter is in court, charged with stalking and using a firearm for murder. I mean, the laws over there are very weird. Using a firearm for murder, it's just murder, isn't it? And maybe carrying a firearm, I don't know. I Calderdale Top Cat, have a good Christmas. You too, mate. Have a great one. Hope everything works out for you and you have a great time. Interest rates remain at 4.75%. The Bank of England saying they thought the economy is worse than expected. Oh, Rachel Reeves. Remember, she worked for them, didn't she? No, she didn't. Ofwat says a rise of average of £86 to pay for upgrades to the infrastructure of the water companies. Oi! Oi! What are you doing? I'm trying to do a serious broadcast here and you're sitting on a plastic bag. Ofwat should be got rid of as well. Have you seen that Muskie's thinking about bankrolling Reform Party? We're coming up to that, don't worry. We're coming up to that. Ofwat say a rise in of average of £86 to pay for the upgrades of infrastructure. As I said before, we should be paying that. They should be paying that. They should get their shareholders who've been cashing in year after year after year after year after year to actually give some of that money back, because it's not theirs. Water is a human right and it should not be for profit. Friday the 20th, a man aged 50 arrested after a car drives into a Christmas market in Germany. At least 2 people are dead, including 1 child, and 60 injured. Kia said it was horrid. Well, that's alright then, isn't it? Absolute moron verdict from Trump advisor over the Mandelson... Oh no, yeah, sorry. Oh, absolute moron verdict, what am I on about? A Trump advisor over the Mandelson being picked as ambassador to the USA described Mandelson as an absolute moron, because in 2019 he said American president is a little short of knowledge and of little short of white nationalist and racist. That was it. I'll get it out eventually. Finally, 2 are charged with assaulting police officers at Manchester Airport in July. Remember the video of a police officer stamping on a guy's head in what looked like a corridor or a waiting room in Manchester Airport? And then a couple of days later we saw the earlier video where the 2 men were actually assaulting the police officers, including knocking and bursting the lip of a policewoman, police officer, male police officer as well, and they were being subjected to fairly aggressive abuse. But ironically, the only footage we saw at first was the police officer stamping on one of these guys' heads. Yeah, two-tier security in a Manchester airport. Anyway, thankfully the truth has come out. The officers will not be charged. It's come out as well, but these two guys have been charged and hopefully, at the very least, should get deported. Saturday the 21st, memorial service for the 5 now confirmed dead and the 200 injured in the Christmas Day market attack. A 50-year-old Saudi Arabian doctor was arrested on the night, and it turns out he's from Saudi Arabia. He's been in Germany for about 12 years, working as a psychiatric doctor. Protests then started in Germany, in the town where this horrendous act happened, and it started to spread to other towns and cities as well. I don't know if there's anything going on tonight. I've not seen in the news or online anything, but I would imagine there would be. And there's also travel disruption due to high winds again in the UK. It's the second lot of high winds we've had. And I can feel it, hear it battering around at the minute. But we're not going to have a white Christmas, we're going to have a mild grey Christmas apparently. Sunday the 22nd, a 9-year-old boy named as Andre, 50-year-old, is now remanded in court and had posted Islamic phobic comments online. So basically, yes, this guy's a bad un. He was known to be a bad un, and no one did anything about it in Germany. Now, this guy was legally there. He wasn't an illegal migrant or anything, but he certainly was not enjoying his time in Germany by the sounds of things. I've not read what he's put up, but no doubt that will come out over the next few days. And poor Andre, a 9-year-old, never got to live his life. You're going out Christmas fun fair, a Christmas market. It's meant to be fun, exciting, get ready for Santa coming round, getting your presents and everything, and ends up going home in a body bag. You just can't, well, not going home, but just leaving in a body bag. You just can't believe the mental state of people. And it's, okay, people snap, people do things occasionally that you can't predict, but there are some people where you think, yeah, this is being posted badly. Now they're having a go at Elon Musk about this, because a lot of his comments were posted on X, formerly Twitter, and basically people are saying that it should have flagged up and he should have informed the authorities and they could have gone round and maybe stopped this tragedy happening. If you've seen the video, I don't recommend you watch it. If you do see the video, it is horrendous. You basically see crowds of people just being mowed down from a security camera high up by a car, and it looks like it's speeded up, but it's not. The guy is going ridiculously quickly, even drives out of the market. Now, all these markets, including the ones in Manchester and all that, have got these concrete barriers all around them, but they'd left a gap for ambulances, and this guy obviously knew where the gap was, and that's where he went in, and he just slaughtered people. There are 40 people who've got life-changing injuries. It's just absolutely abhorrent what people are doing. 100% should be jailed for this. I mean, doesn't even need a trial. They arrested him, he got out of the car that was covered in bumps, scratches and blood from these people he'd just slain. You know, maybe we should send the British police there or the American police, and then we wouldn't have to have a trial. Even that's not good enough for him. They're trying to say he was far right. Oh, God knows. There's definitely something wrong. But yeah, I just don't understand what gets into people's heads that that's the right thing to do. Meanwhile, America has reverted to what it did in the last Gulf War. It shot down one of its own planes over the Red Sea. The pilots thankfully ejected. But if you're old enough to remember the illegal Gulf War that we had, where Blair and Bush should be up for war crimes, basically starting a war for no reason whatsoever other than oil. That's the only reason I can think they did it. Then they should be in for that. But apparently more British troops were killed by Americans. As your mate Andre finished with GB News, or was it Talk TV? I forget. It was Talk TV was on. I don't know, because I've not watched Talk TV for a while and I've not spoke to him for months. Mainly because of his opinion on what's going on in Gaza, which I completely disagree with. I'm not supporting Hamas in any way, shape or form, never have, never will. But the slaughter of children and women is absolutely ridiculous. And in this day and age, carpet bombing is not a way to do wars. As they've proved, I've said this before, so apologies if you've heard this before, when they killed those aid workers a few months ago, they were in cars, 3 cars, and they, over about a number of hours, over a number of miles, they hit all 3 cars, killing these 3 aid workers without injuring anyone else. Now, they say it was the wrong target, they got bad information, whatever, they'll look into it, we'll have an inquiry, collateral damage, all the usual excuses that Netanyahu and his cronies pull out. But no, they've proved that they can target individuals. The wrong individuals, but individuals, they can target individuals. And then in Beirut, they actually hit the 2nd floor of a hotel and killed the person they were trying to kill without actually injuring anyone else in the hotel or destroying the hotel. So they proved they can do it. As far as I'm concerned, and I had a very long chat with someone in the shop about it who disagreed with me completely, which I get, 100%. Don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me. But I said, as far as I'm aware, it is ethnic cleansing that's going on. It's not genocide, because they're not just killing everyone, but they are scaring people out of areas so that they can land grab it. And that's what the Israelis have done ever since they got the State of Israel. And I think, personally, it should be shrunk back to the original State of Israel, just because of the way they're behaving. And people say, oh, well, they've been persecuted in the world, in World War II and all that. We're not disputing that. All I am disputing is the fact that they should not be allowed to do what they're doing to innocent children and people, just on the, well, it's collateral damage because we're aiming for Hamas. No, it doesn't work like that. Well, it does, unfortunately, but it shouldn't work like that, is what I mean to say. Anyway, that's the serious news. And now we get onto the news that makes you go, yeah, it's news that makes you go, And got quite a lot to get through tonight, more than I expected. But it's an interesting story. It's not breaking news by any stretch of the imagination. On November the 12th, 1833, there was a meteor shower that was so intense that it was possible to see up to 100,000 meteors per hour. I don't think I've ever seen a meteor shower, mainly because of light pollution. If I lived in the Scottish Highlands, I probably would. I'd also see the Northern Lights as well on a regular basis, but sadly not. Although, because I watched Day of the Triffids, I don't really want to see meteor shower, because everyone in Day of the Triffids got blinded. And the Triffids took over. Although I think it's more coincidence than anything else. We haven't got Triffids, so maybe not, but I don't want to be blinded by meteorites. Unless it hits me in the face, in which case I'll be dead anyway. But yeah, November the 12th, 1833, there was a meteor shower so intense that it was possible to see up to 100,000 meteors per hour. It does that, doesn't it? The Great Leonid Meteor Shower of November the 12th, 1833, in which hundreds of thousands of meteors were observed in one night, was seen all over North America and initiated the first serious study of meteor showers. Those who were awake to witness the storm were in awe. Between 50,000 and 150,000 meteors fell each hour. Denison Olmsted, a professor at Yale, wanted to know more about this phenomena. However, he did not have much data to study aside from his own observations. As soon as the meteors began to disappear with the sunrise, Olmsted drafted a letter and sent it off to the New Haven Daily Herald, appealing to the public to send any information about the storm. This issue of the Daily Herald would be the catalyst for one of the first crowdsourced science projects in which Olmsted used information from everyday people to help make new discoveries about meteors, which is amazing. Basically, he created the internet via newspaper technology of the time. This is shocking news. There are fears of a Guinness shortage in pubs. And Tesco as well. Couldn't get any Guinness yesterday. The Irish Stout, known for its distinctive warm brown colour, creamy foam head and unique method of being poured, has its limits imposed on its supply ahead of Christmas, with Guinness capping the amount of pubs can buy due to over-demand from customers. The ban is currently in place in England, Wales and Scotland, but has yet to affect venues across Ireland itself. Of course, the Irish are not going to give up Guinness for Christmas and New Year, are they? Yeah, but looks like we might have to. Gutted. Hashtag gutted. That's been reported in Australia. You know, Australia, where they have Tim Tams. Thanks to Bruce for coming over, by the way, and telling us all about Tim Tams. Very exciting. What will the weather be like for Christmas in Australia? As the countdown to Christmas Day begins, the Bureau of Meteorology and AccuWeather have already shared their long-range predictions for whether the big day will bring rain, hail or shine. Across the country, the weather is expected to be a scattered mix of soaring temperatures, afternoon thunderstorms and possible rain in some areas. But yeah, what I don't get is, in warm countries, why do they have snowmen? Makes no sense. And why do they have Christmas trees? That makes no sense either. And why do they have Father Christmas dressed like Father Christmas? Makes no sense. It's a winter thing. For them, it's summer. Do summery stuff. Oi! Psst. Get off. Oh! Bess! Sorry, cat's just destroying the place. Right. Have you ever run over something? Well, hopefully never, but, you know. Woman thought she'd run over a leopard. Someone thought the leopard escaped from Belfast Zoo turned out to be one of the mums from the Antrim Road lost their dressing gown on the school run. But I can see, well, it looks like it does look like an actual leopard that had been run over. I never understand why people put Christmas decorations out, well, lights out in front of houses. Never understood it. I did it once, and I'm like, what's the point? We can't see it. If you're going to do it up inside your house. Don't do it up outside your house, because the neighbours get the benefit of it, and you're paying for it. However, I would make an exception for this display, which for me has won Christmas. I'll let you take that in for a minute or two, because it is a blissful thing. Okay, you've had enough of that now. It's also Grinch. Banksy, we're not on for a while. Christmas themed, I suppose. Talk TV. Some local elections could be delayed by up to a year, says Angela Rayner. I can confidently predict that Labour will be humiliated in these elections, says TV Kev, off of Talk TV. Yeah, that's what I was on about, and it not reported on BBC News. Meanwhile, in Bolton, a Bolton Town Centre has closed. A Bolton store in Town Centre closed. A Bolton Town Centre store has closed suddenly today after the council seized the premises. Poundland on Victoria Square was shut by the local authority this morning, with council staff offering support to staff. Basically, it's over lack of rent being paid by Poundland, and also a way of getting the building back so they can knock it down, because it's basically one of the buildings they're actually knocking down in Bolton Town Centre to build, guess what? Cinema, bowling alley and flats. Who knew? Who knew? Meanwhile, the Conservatives had 215,465 strong petition for the government to stop Labour's family farm tax. This cruel and vindictive tax will devastate family farms, cost 125,000 jobs and threaten our food security. Labour must face the reality of their appalling choices, so says the Conservative Rural Forum. Me neither. But no, they are right to a degree. You've got to admit that what they're doing is completely ridiculous. These farms are worth millions of pounds, but they've been in the families for hundreds of years when they were worth nothing. They've been built up over the years, and the only reason the land is worth £1 million, £2 million, £5 million is because of greedy companies coming in and wanting to buy it all. The farmers themselves, if they earn 50,000 a year for working 7 days a week, 14-hour days, 15-hour days, I think that's fair, and we shouldn't be taxing them when they die, so the families can't run the farms anymore. And yeah, food stability. Mostly we're falling out with all the other countries. Like a nice pint of Guinness. Well, tough, mate. You ain't getting one from a pub anytime soon. That's what you're saying. Let's have some personal news, shall we? Because I've not done personal news for a while. This is my year on YouTube in 2024, even though it's not finished yet. It's a bit presumptuous. But we've had 841 new subscribers, 466,000 views, almost 500,000 views. I've uploaded 291 videos. I've had 4,176 likes, 1,426 shares, and 780 comments. And I'd say 99.9% of those comments are very favourable. So thank you very much. Also, on a personal note, the shop is doing very well, and we've got ourselves a new poster that was yet to go to print, but I thought I'd share it with you guys, as designed by one of my regular customers. This is the new poster that will be going up around the shop, and we've called it Level 5, the final front here, because I'm not moving again unless I really have to, in which case that'll be the bonus level. But yeah, so personal news there, just chucked in the middle of all this nonsense that's going on. Talking of which, this is genius as well. Caught this off Porthcawl today. Caught this pair off Porthcawl today. Threw the horrible slimy one back. I'm eating the fish though. See, I don't mind stuff like that. That's alright. Finland used to have 4,000 reindeer car accidents per year, so they started painting their antlers with reflective paint. Again, this is genius. I mean, how the hell you paint a reindeer's antler without it killing you, I don't know, but I mean, it works, doesn't it? You can definitely see the reindeer, and that's what it's all about. So you're not going to hit them on the dark roads at the middle of the night when you're driving 100 miles an hour coming over from the pub because there's no police, because you're up there in Finland and they don't care about that. Bluey is coming to the big screen. Grab your popcorn, it's official. Everyone's favourite Aussie cartoon family is coming to the big screen in the new animated film Bluey. The movie slated for release in 2027. So you'll be able to take your toddlers to watch a Bluey at the cinema. Whoever thought I'd be able to say that sentence? Lego have got a new set. Obi-Wan Kenobi, dead. Sorry. A go-ahead has been given for a construction of a multi-storey car park. It will start building in January. Hospital chiefs give the green light to build a new multi-storey car park at Wigan Infirmary. It's not actually at Wigan Infirmary, it's where I drive past. If you're a regular watcher of my driving videos, and I go past the hospital, which is up from where this image is taken, but you see in the far left corner there a building with a bit of white on it and a bit of black on it and then a bit of white again. That is Pier Alarms. There's a car park there already, but it's just a ground level car park. So hopefully this car park will alleviate parking issues in the immediate area around the hospital. Again, this one made me laugh. There's a massive rivalry between Bolton and Wigan, particularly in the football. So Wigan fans added this sticker to the Welcome to Bolton sign. The home of Bolton Wanderers, who get battered everywhere they go. It's Wigan Athletic. I wouldn't mind, but Bolton Wanderers are ahead of us in the league, but it doesn't matter. It's banter, innit? Here we go. We said we'd talk about this earlier on. Reform UK posted this photograph. Only Reform UK can save Britain after years of dishonesty and mismanagement by the Tories and Labour. Britain needs reform. Picture there of there on the left, their multi-millionaire treasurer, who used to be Tory, has now joined Reform UK as their treasurer. I'm not sure who the guy in the middle is with the leather jacket on, but apparently he's a billionaire. And behind is a picture of Donald Trump, looking rather camp in cricket gear. I don't know whether Donald Trump's ever played cricket. And that was taken at Mar-a-Lago in America last weekend, and has caused a hell of a stir because there is a possibility that Elon Musk will be donating $100 million, £80 million, to Reform UK, which would make them the richest party in the country. They're also the most rapidly rising party in the country as well. And I don't think the Tories and Labour have realised what shit they are in. Do we want Nigel Farage as our Prime Minister? I'd probably say no, but I'd give anything a go at the minute. I mean, I don't think Boris was given long enough after the COVID crisis had ended. And let's be honest, yeah, Partygate, yeah, Keir Starmer, he got away with it, didn't he? He had a curry night with loads of people in a house up in where was it? Up near Newcastle, Wyoming. So yeah, they're all as guilty as each other of doing old stuff like that. But yeah, Nigel Farage as Prime Minister, slightly terrifying. God, if someone throws a milkshake on him, the death sentence will be brought back. Despicable weasel, two-faced Labour liars, according to Carol Decker. Heart and soul lady from Tapau. Keir Starmer, Angela Rayner, Lisa Nandy, accused of betraying WASPy women to win election after compensation snub. Labour accused of betraying the WASPy women to win election. I don't think just betraying the WASPy women won their election. They also betrayed the farmers. They also betrayed the pensioners. They also betrayed businesses. And that's what won them the election. It will lose them the next election as well. Meanwhile, the Daily Mail reported a trainee firefighter who failed exam became a woman because the pass mark was lower and was successful. So this is someone who failed to become a firefighter as a man, so identified as a woman and passed because the mark is lower. They betray the country. They did, absolutely, 100%. I just worry what's going to come next. Where's that gone off? I just worry what's going to come next. That's the problem. Meanwhile, not taking your helmet off even for a concert. This is the way. And I've no idea what's going on there, but it's someone who's wearing what's it called? What's it called? He's one of my favourite characters, even though I've seen him in the films. He's got a baby Yoda anyway. He's holding that above his head. Looks like in a knapsack. And he's wearing the helmet of the guy who's really cool, the bounty hunter. But he's got no top on. But everyone else around him is just oblivious to the fact that there's a guy with the helmet on of this character from Star Wars with the kind of greeny helmet thing. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. It probably won't, to be fair. Oh, talking of Lisa Nandy. I pledge to support WASPy to work in Parliament to find a solution for the women affected. Lisa Nandy MP, hashtag WASPy pledge. And there she is, stood outside. Ironically, if you see where the red sign is, where there's a guy walking past, if you go up that road, that's where the new car park is going to be. But yeah, there she is. Just before she betrayed everyone. Still smiling though, because she's now on the cabinet. These are the countries ranked by most corruption according to Transparency International. A lot of South American countries, a lot of South African countries, quite a bit in the Middle East, Russia, China, and amazingly, England is very pale. Didn't see that coming. Have they not seen our governments? Councils? No. This is an image of sunrise from space, or it could be sunset. Red Sky Morning, Shepherd's Warning. Let's do it Red Sky Night, Shepherd's Delight. Now, isn't it amazing how some animals can absolutely, cat's back, absolutely disguise themselves in a natural environment. The most impressive one is octopi. They are just amazing. The way they just transform into whatever they're on. I don't know how they do it. It's like they've got invisibility cloak or something like that. Well, we've got three fine examples of creatures that can just disappear because of their natural colouring. So we've got a cat, got an owl, and you won't believe this, but there's actually a bear as well on those pictures. Now, you'd be hard pressed to see any of them, but yeah, like a ninja, as it says up there. It is uncanny how they can just do that. They don't even have to think about it, they just do it because they're amazing. Boba Fett, I've remembered. It's Boba Fett, that's whose hat it is. He's got on. Boba Fett. There we go. Aussies offered discounts on electric cars, because guess what, folks? The Aussies aren't buying into it either. For essential and low-income workers, essential workers and low-income Australians are being offered discounts on brand new electric cars in a push by the federal government. A $150 million scheme, about $20, is designed to make electric vehicles more affordable, will come into effect from January the 1st next year on vehicles worth less than $55,000. You're alright, Angela, don't worry. Everyone's busy this time of year in particular. Now, I like stubborn people. I do. I like stubborn people. I like people who are stubborn. They're cool. And we are talking super cool. That's about this. Refused to give way for 500,000 yen. And basically, yeah, they built a road up to, but not past, this apartment block. Because we see it from different angles, because that does look a bit photoshopped, but you look at it from that angle, it's definitely not photoshopped. And if you look at it from that angle, absolutely superb. 10 out of 10. Yeah, absolutely love people who do stuff like that. I just build a thing around it. Why does it have to go through their property? Makes no sense. Found another EV using a power outlet in a public place. No need to worry, I already unplugged it. If I don't get free gas, you don't get free electricity. I'm that petty. Good luck. Well, it is a podcast as well, so carry on listening. Rail strikes threaten iconic New Year's Eve fireworks. It could be lights out for Sydney's New Year's Eve fireworks this year. Police Commissioner Karen Webb has threatened to recommend cancelling the city's iconic display this year, with ongoing rail action causing police to hold grave concern for the expected 250,000 person crowd to get home safely. But they have to get there in the first place, don't they? So I don't see what the problem is. If they manage to get there, then they can probably get home again. But yeah, there's train strikes in Australia. Have I not mentioned that what's going on in the UK under the Tories is exactly the same going on around the world? Australia's the one I follow mainly, but there are other ones as well. A note attached to a bike. Apologies, stole your bike last night in the final chapter of an export-fueled rampage. Smooth ride though, great bike choice, is a FAM. 10 out of 10, would steal again. They returned it anyway, so it's not too bad, they merely borrowed it. Dear atheists, how is it that cavemen survived the asteroid but the dinosaurs didn't? Mark Bang replies, trick was to keep a safe distance from the dinosaurs of about 65 million years or so. It seemed to do the trick. Yeah, bloody religionists do my head in. They do my head in, they do. You know my head. They do it in. Christmas decorations in a street. Town's Christmas lights look like underwear on a washing line. One scene can never be unseen, but it does. Someone's knickers and Y-fronts up there. Celebrate Christmas by putting your Y-fronts online. I don't know anything about football, but this here says Man City down to 10 men as Jack Grealish comes on the pitch. That's because Pep Guardiola, I only know that because I had a Funko of him, can't find his on button. It's where his nipple is, but he can't find it. He's missed it. Turns it on, he'd be able to play football properly. But sadly, no. And yeah, you can tell from the face of Jack Grealish that he's not been turned on. If you turn him on, press the left nipple, and away you go. On this day in 1994, E17 were number 1 in the charts with Stay Another Day. And there's a picture there of the Pope in a massive white puffer jacket, which basically replicates the video that they did. Stay now, baby, if you've got to go away, please stay another day. Won't you stay another, stay now, stay now, stay now, stay now. Now, theme parks are not 100 years old yet, as in the concept of them, because people were not allowed to have fun in the Victorian times, unless it was in opioid dens or having tattoos on your breasts. But one of the first ones opened up was Disney. Fun park or horrific experience? You decide. First Minnie and Mickey Mouse at Disney in 1939. There's a kid there stood between a really scary Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. And he looks petrified, to be fair, the poor child. In 1939, probably went on to be George W. Bush, to be fair. That probably explains a lot. Obviously it wasn't at Disneyland then, because that didn't open until the 1950s. But yeah, absolutely horrific. Talking of which, again, photoshopped, but absolutely amazing. Keir Starmer wearing a Christmas jumper that says, "My mother was a fool maker," in reference, obviously, to him always saying that his father was a tool maker. And he is, because he made you. And his mother made a fool. So yeah, absolute genius, whoever come up with that one. Love that kind of thing. And the elves. Elf in yourself. They'll never find it. So this is one of the naughty elves. It's basically designed as a butt plug. Not even joking. And then it goes from the sublime to the ridiculous. A convicted Islamic terrorist is suing a pub in Buckinghamshire for £2,000 over its deeply offensive name. Pub owner Robbie Haynes, I don't think he's ever even been to the town, and it's the Saracen's Head Inn. And basically, this convicted Islamic terrorist is offended by the fact it's called the Saracen's Head. So he's trying to get £2,000 compensation from the pub and get the pub to change its name. No. Meanwhile, again reported in Australia, at Stonehenge, which is not in Australia, thousands of tourists, pagans and druids have congregated at the ancient Stonehenge monument, hoping to watch the dawn of the shortest day of the year, marking the winter solstice for the Northern Hemisphere and bringing only 8 hours of sunlight. December the 21st also coincides with the Southern Hemisphere's summer solstice, our longest day on the calendar year. Well, obviously it does. I mean, duh. How think are Australians? If we've got the shortest day, they've got the longest day. And when we have our longest day, they've got their shortest day. That's how it works. It does make you wonder sometimes. But I don't agree with them all being allowed to just go willy-nilly into that ancient monument. I know it was completely destroyed, its authenticity, in the 1800s and early 1900s by archaeologists fixing it, putting a lot of the stones up again, which took them a lot of work and took them a long time to do. So God knows how the ancient people did it, apart from using the aliens, obviously, and their spaceships. Goes without saying, doesn't it? But yeah, interesting times. Also in Australia, residents have been told to leave immediately. Residents have been told to leave as an out-of-control bushfire continues to burn in Victoria's Grampians National Park, northwest of Melbourne. Locals in Halls Gap, Bellyfield, Flat Rock Crossing, Grampians Junction and Fryers Creek in Western Victoria were told to get out as firefighters continue to battle the blaze. But don't worry, just hope they're all actual biological men who still recognise themselves as being men. If it's a man who's identifying as a woman, then you're screwed. History of driver numbers in F1. So amazingly, these are all the drivers in the history of F1 and their numbers. And the most popular number is number 6, which is, what's that? Hajir, Lafiti and Keke Rosberg. 3 drivers have had that number. And there's also numbers that have not been used, like 62, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76. Yeah, there's lots of numbers that haven't been used. Who are the famous ones at the minute? Perez, who's just lost his seat, is number 11, only want to have that. Someone had number 13, Maldonado. He had a very unsuccessful career. Well, there you go then. Some of the newest drivers have come in. We've got, where is he? I've seen him on here. Verstappen 33 and number 1, because if you get the championship you're allowed to have the number 1. Behrman, Oliver Behrman, he's number 38. Collie Pinto is 43, he's a newer driver, I think he's lost his seat, I don't think he's in this year. Pastari's 81, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, all numbers of drivers over the years. King Charles, I'm just about getting used to saying that. As soon as I say it, he's going to pop his clogs in. But anyway, King Charles must represent the human race when aliens make contact, says a ufologist. Brit filmmaker and ufologist Mark Christopher Lee, who featured King Charles's love of aliens in a recent documentary, said the king should represent humans when aliens make contact, because they'll be terrified of his sausage fingers and they'll leave immediately. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Schools to be banned from demanding parents buy too many branded uniform items. Schools in the UK are set to be banned from telling parents to buy all of their branded uniform items after the Labour government made a pledge in its manifesto. And this is what I agree with. Looks like they're standing by as well. Jesus Christ, who knew? I don't understand why you have to buy sports kits if you're not on a team, if you're just doing PE, that are branded with the name of the school on it. Just say, right, you have a white t-shirt or a blue t-shirt or a red t-shirt, and that's it. Just a plain t-shirt will do. But if you're on a team, then obviously you have to wear the team colours. But other than that, no, it seems pointless. And also ties as well. I think they should be unbranded, which means you can buy other ties, maybe even plain ties, make them plain ties so you can get them cheaper as well. Blazers and jumpers, I think, should be branded with a badge on, but maybe get the badges so they're sew-on or stickable. Having had a child who went through it and 2 grandchildren are about to go through it all, yeah, it's very, very expensive when it comes to, particularly in September, school uniform time. America has grown bored of Meghan and Harry, as Open Secret is told. It's been a tough month for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, with the couple enduring speculation about the state of their marriage before their latest Netflix show flopped. Well, who'd have thought? You know what we say on this channel about Meghan and Harry? Hashtag shut up Harry. Shut up Harry, shut up. You're going to get divorced. Government can fake alien invasion to put fear into humans and control them. A new film claims the US government is capable of faking an alien invasion by using top secret technology including lasers, AI, sky projections and Hollywood special effects. You mean like they did when we supposedly landed on the moon? Is that what we mean? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're talking about? Is it? I don't know. It might be, might not be. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on. Shut it, Harry, and get a divorce. Yeah, it'd be a lot happier if he has a divorce from there, because she's so annoying. I would say she's the Yoko Ono of the royal family. A man crushed to death. This is called karma. A man is crushed to death by a bear as a mate shot the animal in a tree, and the animal fell out the tree and landed on him. Lester Clayton Harvey Jr. died doing what he loved most, bear hunting, according to his son, who had accompanied the poacher before the freak fatal accident. I have no time for people who hunt animals with guns. You're doing it with a spear or a little knife, then fair play, good luck to you. But using a gun, so yeah, karma. The bear fell out and killed this son's dad, and you're like, as I've said before, he died doing what he loved. I'm pretty sure he probably didn't want to die though. So, you know, yin and yang. When you wish upon a star, you're a million years too late, says an astronomer now. One TikTok user made the grim revelation that when you wish upon a star, you're a million years too late and it's already dead. However, astrologer Laura Nicole Dresden disputes this. Yeah, because some stars are nearer, and some stars, it might be the birth of a star, so it might still be around, because our star's been around for over a million years, so there we go. Santa Claus is very handsome if he's on AI. Men under threat by hyper-realistic AI bots and sexy Santa for horny women. Women are choosing to engage in sexual conversations with AI bots over men after blokes are struggling to perform in certain departments, turning men away from a traditional romantic setup. Don't say that's even remotely sexy, but anyway, let's go with it. Oh, another Labour pledge. Families face council tax hike without a referendum under Labour's new plans. Households are set to face a staggering council tax rise as part of Labour's new policing plan, with households facing increases of up to £14 per person next year. So your annual bill is going to go up a considerable amount. Now that's obviously £28 for a normal house with 2 people in it, but you get a reduction in council tax if you live on your own. Meanwhile, in Russia, a Russian general predicted his death weeks prior as a hunt had started for him. General Krylov was informed that a hunt for him had already begun shortly before he was killed in an explosive device planted in an e-scooter on a Moscow street. Now, don't get me wrong, e-scooters are prone to explode at any time anyway. We've already said this before. But more house fires are started in London now from e-scooters and e-bike batteries than from chip pans, because people don't have chip pans anymore. You either use the air fryer or you have one of them actual fryers like they have in shops that's got a thermometer on it and a timer and everything. I don't know why I did that, because there isn't one here, but you know what I mean. I'm just showing you how to use a knob. Well, there's other ways of using a knob, but I'm not showing you that because this is a family show. Alien head, thought to be 7,000 years old, found by archaeologists. Archaeologists in Kuwait have uncovered a 7,000-year-old clay figurine, a figure that looks like an alien, with prominent nostrils, an elongated face, and eyes positioned in such a way they look like modern artists' impressions. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, this nonsense they're coming up with. Donald Trump has told Elon Musk that we have to land on Mars quickly. The soon-to-be president, Donald Trump, has told his mate Elon Musk that humans need to land on Mars, and we got to do it quickly. But not any just human, an American human. So the race is on now. Get yourselves to Mars. Get your ass 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 to Mars. It's a Total Recall reference there. On the remake, you didn't get to Mars. So I don't class that as a Total Recall remake. The man who designed breathalyzers, Karma, banned for drink driving, and then lists the drinks he sunk. In an ironic turn of events, the man who helped design breathalyzers has been banned for drink driving. He pleaded guilty to the offence and said, "I misjudged how much I drunk." So he invented it and got caught out by his own device. Fantastic. Listen to how it works. Bigfoot is interdimensional shapeshifter from another world, claims an expert. Mark Christopher Lee, him again, who made several documents about alien lives, claims that Sasquatch is an extraterrestrial that can travel through time and space. This guy's getting too much airtime on my channel. Let's move on, shall we? Trump says Putin wants to meet me as soon as possible to end Ukraine war. That's because he's losing it. But yeah, there's no winners in that war, unfortunately. Well, there's no winners in any war, is there? Airline passengers' fury after being told to give up first-class seat for a dog. An airline passenger's joy turned to despair after he was told he would be upgraded to first class, only to be told he would have to give up his seat for a dog. He didn't pay for it, but yeah, that disappointment must be absolutely ridiculous. Doggy jails, where 100 dogs are destroyed each month after XL bully ban. New statistics show that capturing, homing and putting down so-called dangerous dogs is creating a huge tax burden each year, with 100 dogs a month being destroyed on police order. One would assume that number would go down though. And I always say it's not the dog's fault, it's the owner's fault. But sadly, if a dog's out of control, there's no other option for public safety. But I blame the owners. Maybe we should put them down as well, eh? Fireball hell leaves 38 dead after bus blows tyre and ploughs into a lorry. A fatal crash in Brazil has resulted in at least 38 deaths, and horrific images from the terrible tragedy show a gutted bus lying on the side of the road after it collided with a lorry. And there's also, that's the second image I've seen. The first image I've seen is a car underneath the bus as well. It's just absolutely horrendous. You know me, I'm not into renewables. I think it's an absolute waste of time. Nuclear power the only way. But even the solar farm needs to be snow ploughed. Yes. But what's the point? Look at the sky. I mean, literally, what's the point? Or is it because the weight of the snow will collapse it and it make it not work? We live in the UK. Solar farms, complete waste of time. Wind turbines, super expensive. You have to maintain them, complete waste of time. Nuclear, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, can be turned up, it can turn down. Just build nuclear power stations. And get onto Elon Musk. I'm sure he built them little nuclear pods. Get some of them around. You know, if you have one of them in each major conurbation, then we should be happy. They can build them really quick as well. This is AI, but that's not a present. It's a lonely, depressing afternoon out, and it's a kid on his knees at Christmas, and he's striking his eyes out because he's been given a Manchester City season ticket, and his mum, his dad, and his grandma are all giving him the finger behind his back and laughing their heads off. Obviously AI generated, but still quite funny. And it's obviously AI generated because I've just noticed that the kid is actually his knee is actually on. Oh no, is he sat on a box, or is he? No, his his feet are under him, so he's actually knelt down on the floor, but he's got a box under one of his knees, which is actually, yeah, it's AI. Absolute crap. I'm surprised he hasn't got 3 arms. Yeah, I know that. I'm not disputing that, Alan, but we've still got plenty of coal and oil around to keep us going until that happens. And trust me, these wind turbines that are going up, they need to be taken down every now and then and redone. They are not the future, and solar farms are not the future either. The only one is nuclear, but we'll have to wait for it. But we live on an island surrounded by coal and oil. But Labour, I swear to God, before the Labour Parliament goes out, if they don't go out before, if they last 5 years, there will be power cuts because we can't sustain the electricity. More so if they keep pushing electric cars, because we need more power for the electric cars, which we can't do because we're running out of power as it is. So yeah, we need to forget the electric cars. We don't make any difference to the perceived global warming that's going on around the world. So yeah, forget the electric cars, keep with the gas, keep with coal, keep with petrol, build nuclear power stations, and then we go green. But by then hydrogen will replace them. Penultimately, the last happy one though, if the singer from Foo Fighters shaved, he looked like the drummer from Nirvana. It's just uncanny. They could be the same person. Spoilers. We've not been told the truth about oil. It's the second most liquid after water on Earth. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, but it's also damaging for the environment. I get that as well, but what we use, it's irrelevant in the scheme of things. I mean, don't forget, China and India are still building steelworks run by coal, still building power stations run by coal as well. So I have no time for any of that. And I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that is, I'm not going to talk for about a minute, because there are a few things that's happened this year that have been horrific, and the murder of children has been one of it. We lost the 3 little angels in Southport, we lost Sarah, and more recently we've lost this young man in Germany. And you just can't believe that this is where we're at in society. So for all the people who've died, I'm going to have a minute's silence. Like I say, I've never done anything like this before, but I just feel that we need to, show some respect for these people, innocents who've been slaughtered by people. I'd also include in that as well, in America, children shooting children. In England and Europe, children stabbing children. We just live in a society that children's lives are unimportant, and they're not. This is the future of humanity, and it's been wiped out. Same in Gaza, same in Ukraine. I just I just can't believe that, you know, we are letting this happen and we're not doing anything about it. But yeah, obviously Andre there it represents them all, mainly because obviously that was you know, what happened literally a couple of days ago. But this is for, you know, that was for everyone who's lost anyone through crime, particularly children. It's just, I can't get my head around it. I really can't. Anyway, let's see what's been happening around the world. Because I'll be honest with you, I dread to think. Tyson Fury breaks silence after storming out of a ring. Oh, huge power cut hits Liverpool city centre. Unbelievable. OpenAI whistleblower found dead at home, aged 26. Mark Burnett, Hollywood TV giant who was formed into the British Army. He's the one who's been taken on by Donald Trump as one of his major people. Oh no, he's the guy who's going to be the ambassador in the UK for America. How ghost radio signals could hold key to the missing flight MH370, which was over 10 years ago. Secret Bank of England move shows Liz Truss not entirely to blame for economic meltdown. Well, not entirely to blame, but very, very strongly to blame. Is Mrs. Brown Boys the worst show on TV? An investigation by The Independent. It might not be the worst, but it's certainly up there. How to Make the Perfect Things. Royal Mail to scrap Saturday second class post for 1 million homes. Plane's nose wheel collapses during hard landing at Belfast Airport, causing cancellations from around the UK. The mother pays tribute to 9-year-old boy killed in German Christmas market. Called him her little teddy bear. Reform UK lines up billionaires to fund political disruption. So there's more than one. Laura Mandelson set to work with Farage to win over Trump. A woman dies after being set on fire in New York subway. 2 US pilots shot down in friendly fire over Red Sea as Houthi conflict continues. Watch Two-Face Yvette Cooper confronted in mince pie row. Yeah, now I didn't see the face of Yvette Cooper, but allegedly Yvette Cooper, Labour deputy leader, no, not deputy leader, what is she, a Home Secretary, was handing out mince pies in some kind of shopping area, and 2 people went up and filmed her and basically called her all the names under the sun for what the government's doing, and she just kept saying, do you want a mince pie? And they even said, why don't you just warm the mince pies up and give them to the old people to keep them warm. Archbishop of York admits abuse claim could be handled differently. Yeah, like you actually do something when you get told about it. Cadbury stripped of prestigious royal accolade for the first time in 170 years, so they're no longer to the crown. A poll of the day in GB News. Do you agree with the government's new grocery tax in order to hit net zero targets? Well, obviously not. So there's Ed Miliband. I thought it was alright once upon a time. So I eat a sandwich and then I'm like, nah. Labour started turning the tables toward honorary people, says Lucy Powell. So we're going to be alright. Drones are deployed to deter migrant crossing channel in small boats as government cracks down on the gangs. As I've said before, there's no point cracking down on the gangs, because Wigan Council cracked down on the pigeons. We had a pigeon problem. So they humanely captured pigeons and then took them away and slaughtered them. And all that was, the pigeons in the park realised there was no pigeons in the town, so they moved into the town, so we had a pigeon problem again. And that's exactly what's going to happen with the gangs. So yeah, you smash the gangs, another gang will come along. Look at drug dealers, they go to prison, another one pops up. Labour accused of plunging UK into recession as business bosses tear into Rachel Reeves. Head teacher who tried to block Ofsted found to be failing pupils. Well, they're going to make a scapegoat of her, aren't they? City Radio Stores. The Relic Ealing shop that was a constant part of growing up from the 1960s to the 1990s closed in Ealing. A mother of 34, stuck in Spanish hospital over Christmas after suffering a stroke on holiday. Manchester's Christmas markets are being taken down again for another year. Two-tier BBC refuses to air Keir Starmer parody despite playing anti-Thatcher song. Oh yeah, because when Thatcher died there was King Kong the Witch is Dead from what was it, Wizard of Oz. But there's the Lonely This Christmas parody song that's number 1 in the streaming charts and number 18 or whatever in the Christmas charts for actual sales. Law enforcement smashes illegal streaming network used by record-breaking 22 million people in the UK and Europe. Tycoon who paid Duchess of York and Zara Phillips thousands is linked to China, so there's another Chinese spy probably. Treasury documents reveal a £2 billion black hole in Rachel Reeves' benefit plans. Genius. You couldn't make it up, could you? Oh, there are pigeons everywhere, Angela. They really are. I mean, I'm talking about what happened years ago. This is not what's happened recently. This was years ago when they did all that. Anyway, that is it for the breaking news and the show. We've been on for 1 hour and 16 minutes. We've currently got 11 people. We've had 3 likes. Average view is 17 minutes and 18 seconds. It will be moving possibly to Thursday in the new year, but I'll let you know that as and when, and maybe earlier as well, maybe 9 o'clock on a Thursday, but we will see. Slightly different format as well, but I'll keep you updated. Big shout out to everyone who's joined in the chat: Viva Mark, Alan Barton, Dream Frequency, Calder Day, Top Cat, Sean J, Angela O'Kane, and yeah, that is it. So yeah, and thank you for your support and everything over the years. We will get forward to another one. I will be doing possibly a review of the year. I probably won't, and I'll definitely be doing another one of these next Sunday. Oh, you're all right, Angela, and I will see you then. So yes. Oh, and tea as well. So yeah, be seeing you. Look after yourselves. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you in between, that time when we don't know what day of the week it is. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas everyone. Until next time. Bye.